Oh, how's it going tonight there, YouTube? Well, I know I've been kind of slacking on my videos here lately, but I thought maybe I'd do a little video here on another subject that most of you guys know I'm involved in anyway, and that is, of course, scrap metal. And I also kind of wanted to do a little video on how you guys can kind of get started in that, and I'll just kind of tell my story of how I got started in it and whatnot. Now, of course, most of you guys know, if you're just seeing this for the first time, I just kind of do scrap metal on the side here. I don't do it full time. I have a full-time job, and I just kind of do this for like a side gig kind of thing. But basically, how I got started, I started doing. Give me a second here. I started with copper wire. Now, that's probably one of the most common sources that you guys will do scrap with. A lot of guys start with doing copper wire and whatnot, just doing small stuff. And of course, you can get that from appliances or house renovations, or some people get it from a place of work or whatnot. And of course, don't take it from a place of work unless, of course, you have permission to do that. But I've got a little bit of copper here, not really wire. It's got some copper fittings and whatnot here, so I cut those out of those furnaces I was scrapping out there back in winter time. I got some copper pipe. That'll be your number 3 copper as well. And it's all got solder and whatnot on it, so. But basically, what you want to do to get started is you know what you want to do. Do you want to go to just do copper? And then, of course, I've got my own place here with a yard and whatnot, so I got room to put a lot more stuff. So when I first started this whole scrap metal thing, I just did the copper wire, and I still kind of do a little bit of copper, but I don't get as much as I used to anymore. So I got to get the copper fittings and whatnot, and some pipe and here and there and whatnot. And I started doing appliances when I got my truck. Of course, if you guys want to do big stuff, you gotta have a truck. So most scrap guys will tell you they want an 8-foot box and a pickup truck. You know, I like to have an 8-foot box, but I decided to have a truck with a bigger cab. So I just got the short box in my truck. So, but you get by with it, so it will work. So then, of course, when you start getting trucks, and if it's available to you, you get stuff like this. You get steel posts and rebar and brake rotors. I do fix cars inside and whatnot. You guys, most of you know, was an apprentice automotive mechanic before I started to work for New Home Construction. And I got little bits of angle iron and whatnot, lawnmowers, car batteries. I started getting into that kind of stuff, and that's an aluminum. And then I've got some aluminum wheels here and whatnot, which I will have to strip apart. So I keep it to the basic metals. I keep it to aluminum, steel, copper. I don't really deal with appliances a whole lot anymore. I used to just kind of just pick it up and just snip the copper cords off and then take them in, but not really worth that much. You should only get so much on a truckload, so I keep it to the steel and the aluminum, copper, whatnot. So car batteries you get once in a while, but of course once you get started, there's lots of people that do this kind of stuff, and a lot of guys do it on the side too. So it's not something I really look for, but basically where I get my stuff from is either A, word of mouth, because over time people learn that you're going to do this stuff, and of course people talk, and 9 times out of 10 most people are just more than happy to have you come get something off their property so they don't have to look at it no more. So I've had situations like that too, of course. So between the curbside and the word of mouth, and of course if you work for certain places, and most of those guys would rather have someone take it than pay to get rid of it. So it is available, but you know, there's a lot of guys that's first come first serve. Of course, I've seen stuff on the curbside, drive by it and go get, you know, a loaf of bread or something and come back and it's gone. So if you see it, hop on it. And of course other stuff comes to that too. You get people that have some and looking for someone to sell it, like these 8-bolt GM snow tires here that I've still got sitting here. They're still for sale if anyone's interested. You know, people figure out that, you know, of course your contacts list grows with time, of course, and people figure that out, and you can sell certain things, you know, places like a GG and Craigslist and whatnot. Also, that goes along with the scrap metal too. You know, people put an ad on Craigslist or whatever, or Kijiji, and then say, oh, I got, you know, X and X, can you come and pick it up? So it's like, alright, whatever. So, of course, having the spot to put is the most important spot, and some scrap guys do look like hoarders because, you know, on the flip side of it, sure, it's nice to pick stuff up for people and whatnot, but for when it's time for you to come to get rid of it, most guys wait for the right price at the right time to take it in, so they pile it up and pile it up and pile it up, so that when they take it all in one shot. So you're taking 1,000 pounds and steel's at, say, $200 a ton, so there you go. That's an easy $100. So steel's been down a lot lately, and of course, most scrapyards, you can call them, they'll tell you what the prices are and whatnot for that week, and they do fluctuate sometimes, and some weeks will be high, some weeks will be low. It depends on stocks and who's buying and whatnot, so I don't really know too much about that end of it, because usually what I'll do, most of the time I don't even call ahead, I'll just get tired of looking at it and just take it in most of the times, but I think the lowest I ever got for tonnage, I think, was $120 a ton. I still had almost, I remember I remember how much I took in that time, but I kept most of my dump slips from last year, and I think I ended up taking in myself almost 9,000 pounds of steel and copper last year. Didn't really do too much aluminum. I don't get too much aluminum stuff, but you never know. It's always neat to try something else out and whatnot. So I think that's pretty much it for getting started on scrap metal. Now, like I said in the beginning, I don't do it full time, so of course I don't have 40-yard garbage bins and big Mack trucks to take a lot of stuff in. I know guys that do, and friends of mine do that, so of course, you know, there's always someone you can ask questions to and whatnot. And most scrapyards, you can ask them questions, they'll answer it for you anyway, but it's always kind of nice to know people. It's all who you know these days, right? So anyway, just a quick little video tonight. If you guys like what you see, please comment, rate, subscribe. If you're stopping in for the first time, take care and have a good night, and I'll see you on the next one.